Okay, Father Miller here. Welcome back to the Nerd Father Friday afternoon stretch. I'm the only one so far. I just put the link into the chat, so if anybody wants to join, again, go ahead. Just make sure you got the headphones on so it cancels out the feedback. So I'm gonna, if I'm the only one for a while, I might just end, but I just finished watching Gary's stream on the MCU. And the cat sees that I'm talking, so now she needs the attention. And here comes Bosco. How are you? So, but yeah, I have not seen Black Widow yet. I'm hoping to maybe on Tuesday. I'm hoping to find a way where I might not have to go to the theater for it, but we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. I know that some people have already seen it. I know Odin has seen it already, and Odin thought it was horrible. From the reviews I've seen, and the Drinker just released a video, I don't have good hopes for it. And if you follow me on Twitter at FR Miller, Father Miller, just like my title says, you could see the interaction I had with the reporter from Inverse who called me an a-hole because I questioned his comment on the poster saying the best Marvel movie, period. And again, I have a hard time believing that that is real. That this movie that's coming out is going to be better than the origin stories of Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man. And even the Avengers. Avengers may not have been the most perfect movie. Poor cat gets no love. But yeah, I just don't see this. The part of the problem with Black Widow is this is something that should have came out before Endgame when she died. And as you can see, she's trying to get my attention. You poor thing. So, but hope all is well. We got Derek here. Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I think I just heard about Father Altman. For those that don't know, Father Altman is a priest of, I think it's the Diocese of La Crosse, Wisconsin. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Father Altman. And PJ, if you want to join, the links in the chat. Yes, Cat in Philly. I am wearing my canceled shirt, and I'm actually going to be in Philly in 2 weeks. I'm going out to see my classmates, and I'm going to be going to the Jersey Shore for a week. So I'm really looking forward to it. But going back to Evan's comment about Father Altman, for those that don't know, he released a video basically saying that as a Catholic, you can't be a Democrat. Now, I'm trying not to get into the politics on here, but I don't think that's the way that I don't think that's the job of the priest to be able to say that, because as I was telling somebody recently, the Vatican Directory for the Life of Priests basically says that we're supposed to avoid politics, and that can be kind of hard to do, but it's just, I'm trying to think of how to say it, because I see it with Father Pavone too, Father Frank Pavone, who's the Priest for Life director. He got very vocal when it came to the last two campaigns, and again, for me, it just kind of disgusted me. And we got PJ.
Hello, Father. Hello.
So, have you seen Black Widow yet?
No, I haven't. I very, very rarely watch new stuff. I'm a classic man. I've not even seen WandaVision, the things like that.
I got to respond to this. Cat in Philly, I am going to enjoy Yingling. We cannot get it in the Midwest. I wish we could. Yingling is America's oldest brewery. It's been making beer since like the 1800s. It's probably my favorite beer.
So from the 1800s, so compared to Scotland, it's quite young.
I do like your scotch. The only problem is I can't afford some of the scotch.
It's not scotch. It's whiskey. It's whiskey. I'm a Jack Daniels man. I'm a Lynchburg man.
Oh, gee. So do you call that whiskey too?
It's a bourbon more. It's a sour mash whiskey,
Okay.
but it's more of a bourbon taste. But
Okay.
I do like a whiskey as well occasionally, but I do like Jack Daniels.
Well, I know over here some of the bottles run like $80 for
That's a
a good.
Sinatra. That's a Sinatra blend. Over here, it's 125. I got that for my 50th from a friend.
I thought that'd be cheaper over there.
No. £125.
Dang.
Yes, and
How old is it?
No, it's gone.
No. What age was it? Was it a 25?
I think it was. Yes, it was. He got me for my 50th, so I was so keen to try it. I finished it.
I prefer Jameson's.
See, I don't mind Jameson's. It's the same as if I'm drinking a whiskey, I like a single malt, but I like a smooth whiskey rather than
I'll be honest.
I
haven't bought a bottle of Jameson's or Bushmills in ages. I don't know if I've ever bought a bottle intentionally.
I've got about 4 bottles of Jack Daniels, all different variations in my cupboard. So I've got silver barrel, single barrel, the Gentleman Jack, and the standard Jack Daniels. So I basically do. The thing is, working in IT, usually if I fix something, somebody buys me a bottle.
So how expensive is it over there?
For a standard Jack Daniels, it's about £21. For single barrel, you're talking about £43-44.
Okay.
And then after that, it just goes up exponentially. So, like the silver barrel's about £70. So,
I love this comment. We know what to send the Padre for Christmas. I'll tell you, my first assignment was one of the biggest parishes, and I actually did get a few bottles for Christmas, which was nice.
It's always nice when that happens.
There was one that I got that was like $120.
See,
it was good.
Well, at that price, you would expect it to be good. At that price, I would be demanding it would be good.
Yeah.
You can imagine getting a bottle at that price, you go like that and go, nah, don't like it. But I spent $120. I'm going to drink it anyway.
Yes. Well, I'm just afraid to buy a bottle that expensive without having tasted it before.
Well, that's what I must admit, I was a bit skeptical when my friend said he was getting it, and I thought, well, all the other Jack Daniels I've tried, I enjoyed. So can it be that bad?
Cat mooning.
Well, I've usually got my 2 dogs here, usually doing that.
So my laptop is in the shop, and that's why I'm broadcasting from this angle today. It's supposed to be getting back soon. And what do we send Bosco for Christmas? Probably catnip. I got some here.
Sometimes my dogs get more for Christmas than I do.
I would love to have a dog, but the problem was until this current assignment, I was teaching, so I really wouldn't have had time to have a dog.
Yeah, cats look after themselves. Dogs.
Plus, the cat doesn't have to be let out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cats look after themselves. Dogs need the attention.
So
it is. I'm just laughing at the cat. It's basically just taking all that. Here you go. Here I'm here.
Oh, it was fun because I was doing the fiscal year ends for us on the 1st of July, and I had to start putting all the records together and everything, and she's lying on the Sacramento records. It's like, and again, it's fun. She's just lying on her little porch right over here, and then once I go live, she notices something's happening, so she has to be attended to.
Yeah, normally my dogs, I have to shut the dogs out of my room because usually they sit in front of my keyboard on my desk.
Oh,
so both my Yorkies sit on my desk in front of my keyboard.
Oh,
so
Yorkies! I love Yorkies.
Aye, I have to type over them, sort of like that.
Let's see what we'll put some.
I will say she's attract attention. Give me. in her head, she's going, do you really want to be scratched?
She's the Claude. Oh dear, that might be a little too much for her.
If it is, I'm sure she'll just say, I'll leave that for later.
She's like Al Pacino and Scarface.
Say hello to my little friend.
Oops. No, I'm thinking more where he has his face covered in cocaine.
No, I'm actually thinking about it a bit when you're doing that with a thing and say hello to my little friend. Nails come out, claws come out. I shall have them.
Yeah, she does have a small tail. I don't know why that is. Well, the drinker's on tonight. That should be good.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the drinker being on. I must.
So
I do enjoy him.
How long are you able to watch? I mean, it's what time is it over there now? It's about 9, isn't it?
It's just left 9:10. So if it starts at its normal time of any time between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, I can usually watch a couple of hours. It takes me until about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Unless it was like last night where I was on the stream and watching until about 1 o'clock, went to my bed, and I lay for an hour and a half without even sleeping, and ended up getting up, and I went to my bed at 5 o'clock this morning. I was like that when I got. Basically, I'm exhausted. Basically, I'm getting things organised. That's why I suppose I'm a wee bit thing, because my room is getting spring clean. So everything's getting taken off all my shelves, dusted, and all put back, and then probably reorganised, because I've got so many. My DVD stuff is actually starting to crowd up now, so that's too deep as well. It's piling up high, and I've got 2 piles there and a pile at the back of the room to organise. So
see, I liked my old rectory because I had like 5 big bookcases from like floor to ceiling, and I had so much room for things.
I've got 3 of those and 2 half-size ones, and they're all full. So I need to actually reorganise. But as you can see, I've actually started a majority of it. You can see most of the things I've got, the DVDs at the back and then things in the front. But there's some shelves further along where it doesn't. So I'll need to actually organise all that so I can actually find a DVD when I want to watch it.
Well, that was my problem. Was I was trying to find. I don't know if you know the movie Victory from like 1981. It was the soccer football film. The
football one with Pele and all that in it. Yes.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone is a goalkeeper.
Yeah. But I swear I have that on. I could have sworn I bought the DVD, and I'm looking through my collection trying to find it, and I can't.
See, I've got mine's all in a spreadsheet. I know what ones I've got. The unfortunate thing is, if I look back there, I've got 2 piles like that of doubles because I bought them and I didn't realise I had them. As soon as I went to put them in my spreadsheet, I actually realised I had them. But I find it easier with a spreadsheet for the simple fact is that way I don't actually go through, take a DVD out, and 3 months later I walk along and it basically, there's another one of the same, and there's another one of the same, there's another one, and it's that. So I pile all my spares up at the back. I'm going to use them as a giveaway when I hit 100. Somebody's going to get a DVD, and depends what one they want. I've got a load to choose from.
I don't know. I just don't want to get rid of mine. I mean, I have some that I haven't seen in years, but I don't want to get rid of it.
Oh, no. I still buy DVDs. I still like my DVDs. I go to the charity shop quite regularly. Come back with about 30 or 40. But there is a couple. I've got about 40 doubles. So I'll use them as giveaways when I hit a milestone. And as soon as I hit 100 subscribers, I'm only at 77. Not that I'm counting. Every single one. Yes.
I've been doing this for over a year now, and I'm up to about 740. I think I just reached 740 today.
Yeah.
But the problem is I got to get the watch time.
Yes, it's the watch time. My watch time's okay. Well, I've been doing it for just over a year. My early ones are so bad. Blurry webcam, sounds a wee bit shaky. and you can see the back of me, and it's not as good where the back used to have the view. It was basically just some bits and pieces of old pictures and a door that was just white. Now it's got a TARDIS on it, so I'm okay.
She's going nuts right now.
Yes, it's.
I gotta show this. So you could just look at her tail.
Yep. She's actually enjoying what she's finding.
Yeah. But no, the thing I like about this, and this view gives you a better picture of the guy on the wall next to Jesus. That's my Tom Baker.
I got mine.
Autographed.
I got mine up there. You could just see the edge of it. Unfortunately, it's behind my monitor.
Okay.
That's where my Tom is. But I've cosplayed this Tom, so I have. So I'm that sad. I've got the picture with me, and I've never met him, unfortunately, because he doesn't come up to Scotland. He very rarely travels now due to his age. So
he's 83 now.
Yes. Yes, he's in his 80s and he doesn't travel. So if he does a Comic-Con or anything like that, it's usually local to him, but he doesn't travel anymore. So unfortunately, but I've met a few of the other surviving classics. So I've met Peter and Sylvester and Colin. I've not met Paul yet. Not met Paul McGann because he very rarely comes to Scotland again. We're just a wee backwater.
I would love to meet some of them. I've never had the chance.
Best one I ever met, and it's Katie Manning. She is the loveliest
Joe
person.
Grant. Isn't she Joe Grant?
Yes. She is the loveliest person. I had the picture taken with her. Now I went to get the autograph, and she came out. And the people who were actually organising it kept saying, Miss Manning, going to not spend so much time with your guests. Basically, they were queuing up, and basically nobody was annoyed because they knew when they get there, she would come round, take pictures with them, shake their hand, talk to them. She is just so nice. She none of this sign it, right, bye bye. It was basically she wanted to know everything about you when you were chatting with her. She was just such a legend. So she was the nicest one I've ever met. I have met a few, and I've got my pictures with quite a few, but I do like that. This is my Red Dwarf and such like.
Well, I think Christopher Eccleston is coming to Utah this fall.
Aye, how much is he going to charge?
We got Ironcasters here. Let me get you on. Good to see you.
Hello.
I'm doing pretty good.
Love the background.
Thank you. This is what I've been taking a little time to work on, like a little bit of animation to it. So every now and then something might come by.
Nearest I get to animation is if my dogs hit my desk and my whole board goes.
My cat is covered with catnip. I mean, she has it everywhere now.
So I did get some good news. Oh, hey, Kitty.
Center of attention. Pay attention to me now.
She's happy. She's high.
Yep.
So what's the good news?
I got approved from work for the time off for Vegas.
Awesome.
Well,
I
very
got
good.
the money. I have to go book my stuff. I just got to figure out what days should I go, which I think is going to be the meetups are on Thursday and
Saturday. I'm coming in actually a day early because it was cheaper. Because the flight I wanted to take was going to be about $100 more expensive to get that time, and it was cheaper to go a day early. So I'm going to be there from that Tuesday till Saturday morning.
I found that when we were traveling, we went to Vegas a few years back, and we were only planning to go for just a long weekend, even though we were traveling from Scotland over. And it was actually cheaper for us to spend an extra 2 days there because of the flight costs. It's crazy. You think about it, more expensive to spend more, less expensive to spend more time.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks is the resort fee.
Yes.
But no, to answer your question, it is Thursday night is the first get together, and then Saturday night. So I did ask Gary if he was going to do a live stream of Friday Night Tights where we could sit in, but he thought that might be a little impossible for people to hear. That was the thing, for people to hear.
Yeah.
So I talked about maybe doing a viewing party. I don't know. I don't know what that would entail.
Oh, I also do have something here for. I also have a little. I think I had that. I think I had this last week. My little Snorpoopus friend.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta put this on. I took a picture of the cat. She is literally covered in catnip. I'm just gonna post it on Twitter right now.
Doing our Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what stream do you use the puppets for?
Honestly, it was just kind of a bit of a spur of the moment. Like, yeah, why don't I go ahead and do this? Because I wound up getting a couple of them. It was like one for Snortopoopus and tongue in cheek, one for the Islington girl.
Okay, here we go. Let me bring this up.
Oh wow!
I mean, she is covered.
Yeah, it certainly is.
So,
Your mate, rolling in it.
I gotta ask. Did you see that I got called an a-hole by a reporter?
No, didn't see that.
Really?
What a...
So this guy from Inverse Magazine basically said the best Marvel movie, period. And this was my original tweet here. Apparently better than the Avengers.
It must have been his time of the month. That's why.
But then I deleted that one afterwards before I realized he called me a name. But I asked, it's like, are you saying it's better than the Avengers? Winter Soldier, Iron Man, Guardians. I don't buy it. So he basically said from that, I'm a anal orifice. But the funny thing that happened on that, let me see if I could find the response.
I think he's actually just describing the lady's time of the month. That's all he's describing. That's probably a part of
Here
it.
We go. Can confirm Black Widow is easily in the top 3 movies. The best part is she writes for the Mary Sue.
Is it a surprise really nowadays?
Well, I had to be very careful how I responded to that because I mean, literally anything I would say would pretty much come out like I'm a jerk because I don't trust the Mary Sue.
Even if, no matter what you said, you could have said yes and it would have been twisted.
Scarface cat. Oh dear.
Well, I came up with a term for it today, and it just kind of dawned on me. It's like toxic marketing. They're one of the favorite words is calling everything toxic. It's like it's a little, it's a little dish taste of medicine there, and
a spot in the head.
One of their favorite words.
Gary got it spot in the head. They're trying to blame us for everything they've done in the past how many years. So it's the fans' fault the movies are they were so bad that people were treated that way. Yeah, we were the ones that actually funded it, directed them, and stuff like that. It's our fault because we are fans and we watched them.
Well, the other thing too, and Gary pointed this out because I sent him the tweet, and I made a comment that, again, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America are my 3 favorites. Well, those were before Disney. And I forgot that was before Disney.
I can't even remember the last one I watched. That's how bad it is. Because no, it's just not that I'm actually looking for sponsorship, but it's Iron Brew, Scotland's second national drink. That was the advert. Brewed in Scotland from girders. That's what they used to say.
From what?
From girders. A girder as in see your metal buildings, the girders.
Oh, okay.
Pylons, I suppose you would, but
no,
that's what their advertising slogan was. Their advertising slogan was "Made in Scotland from girders," because it was iron.
I'm surprised you're not able to get more subscribers because with the Scottish brogue, you should be able to draw people in because you have the way to be able to say stuff that I would wish I could.
See, I like watching some of the America reaction videos and they're going, "What did he just say?" And I'm thinking, how can you not understand that? He doesn't have an accent. In Scotland, people say we got a very strong accent. In Scotland, we don't have an accent. It's everybody else in the world that has an
I
accent.
wonder if I can find that thing. There was some. I have a comment with D-Bit. I'm trying to figure out. Let me look this up. But so Iron Man, not Iron Man, Ironcaster? Have you seen Black Widow yet?
No. The toxic marketing convinced me to not see it.
Yes, quite agree with that one. I must admit, I very rarely watch new stuff. I must admit, but when I see it, I don't. It's a case of do I want to actually even watch a review of it? Because they, as you said, the toxic marketing, it's a case of I don't even want to see a review of it to see if it's good or bad.
They told me I would scream, and that makes me sound like it's going to be an uncomfortable watch. So,
well,
frankly, there's a whole century of movies I can watch. Like there are plenty of Charlie Chaplin movies on HBO Max I could go watch.
Let me see if I got it on here. Because I responded. I responded to the guy by saying, I mean, that screaming in a place doesn't exactly make me want to do that. I mean, if I want to scream, I'll watch Schindler's List.
Yes. See, anytime I hear that description, all I remember is it was a program, Just William. Bonnie Langford played. What was her character? I can't remember her character, but she used to screaming till I'm sick, and that's all I remember. I think about when somebody says you'll scream, and I just think of Bonnie Langford as a 6 or 7 year old with a high squeaky voice going, "I'm going to screaming till I'm sick." So I just constantly go, cringe. No, thank you. And Just William was based on a comic book, so it was. Just William comics. It's basically the Beano or the Bass Street Kids and stuff like that. Which is another comic book, sorry for it's a British comic book, so I'm not entirely sure if you would know what they are. The Bass Street Kids.
The only thing that comes to mind similar would be like I'm thinking comics, the Katzenjammer Kids, but that's like a German immigrants.
I think the Bass Street Kids would probably very close to Little Rascals. It's an updated version, I suppose, of the Little Rascal type. It's a school, and it's all the kids in a school. You've got Plug Ugly, and you've got Fatty, and it's different characters. Beryl the Peril, Minnie the Minx, Dennis the Menace. We had our own Dennis the Menace. It's a completely different Dennis. We had a different Dennis the Menace than your one. Dennis the Menace and Gnasher, his dog, basically was black wiry hair and red and black striped polo neck. He used to wear. He was our Dennis the Menace. Nothing like the one with Mr. Wilson.
So, well, I gotta ask Ironcaster, did you get any new comics?
I did get a couple of things this week. One of the things, actually, let me break the mystique for a moment.
These are the only comics I've got.
The reality kicks in.
There's the comics I got. It's basically the first 7 of Sentinel.
Okay.
Basically, one of the guys said we're going to do a review of his comics. He's actually on book 8. He's just released book 8. And it's basically sci-fi, fantasy, horror. And there's always different bits of genre. His most recent one, I think, for number 9, it's imagine what would happen if the Roman Empire found an island with dragons. Would they enslave them? And it's basically got an image of 2 dragon gladiators.
I had to dig this up because this was one that came out like 6 years ago, and I guess the value has been going up on that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised considering the actual value of the new stuff is actually hitting rock bottom.
But I know Nick Weiser subscribes to this one, but I don't know if you've seen Geiger.
No.
No, I haven't.
It's basically a post-nuclear war world. And this guy's been immune to the radiation, so he's acquired powers from it. But then DC also has this one, The Nice House on the Lake, which is a Black Label one. And that's been really good. I mean, it's a little woke. One of the characters is a trans. But
shocking absolutely no one.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, I'm just trying to get this last little bit of a sticker off of it, but I got I wound up getting some Power Rangers this week, which I have a few things that are sitting in my backlog I need to get to reading. But one of the things I did, let me pull this closer. One of the things I did pick up this week, which I did get around to reading, was The Pit.
I like that one. That is superb.
Yep. This is one that Ethan Van Sciver is now going to be publishing. I'm terrible with the names of the artists. I think it's Dale Keown.
Don't know.
I couldn't tell you most of the artists of the comic books I love.
Yeah,
I've met one or two of them, but that's the ones I remember.
Kurt Swan and Jack Kirby are about the only two I can name.
I probably can name more of the classic ones that I've never met, and probably the comics that weren't published over here, based on the fact is like you've got Kirby, you've got even Stan Lee, stuff like that, is that. But modern ones, apart from things like Estevez, who did the 2000 AD, I've met a couple of those artists, but I'm not one. I enjoy art, but I don't necessarily need to know who actually did it.
I'm trying to find. There's one that's supposed to be coming out from over. Let's see. I'm trying to bring it up. Let's see. So this is Charlie's London. This one really looked good. The only problem is because it's printed in England, it's going to be very, very expensive. So as you can see, 3 comics for $90.
What you need to do is get someone over here to purchase it.
But I mean, look at this.
How much is it if it was purchased in the UK? That's what you need to work out.
£65.
So £65 in the conversion, I think, is probably, so it would be about $50. And it would be actually cheaper for somebody to purchase it and send it over.
But I mean, I really love this art.
The artwork is really... sometimes I like about that type of art. It doesn't need to be. People say it's not very lifelike. Well, it's a comic book. I wouldn't want it to be lifelike. It doesn't need to be so detailed that everything there. That type of artwork is just so simplistic. It actually makes it jump out more.
I would say
I like that one. That is really good.
That one there.
That is cool.
The art just doesn't need to look flat. Then that's all that I need to make me happy.
As long as it's got the shadowing, it actually gives it a 3D thing. But you don't need ones where sometimes I've seen some artwork. The artwork has been excellent, but there's so much detail in the artwork, it distracts from what it's trying to tell in the panel. Whereas I like ones that are very simplistic. It's a 3D, what's in it, but it actually doesn't take away or distract from how it looks. And
so that's officially licensed.
Which means it'll stick to the Chaplin.
Yeah.
That'll be actually really good.
So I don't know. $90 on 3 comics is a lot for me.
Yeah, it's a lot. See, I like my classic stuff.
Well, and as I said last week, Lauren Hardy.
I'm a big fan. I'm a son of the desert.
Well, like I said last week, I'm paying $90, I think, to get that comic, that Something's Killing the Children, signed by the authors.
Mm-hmm. See, that's different because you're getting something signed by the authors. I know the other one, although it's coming from the Chaplin estate, but it is a comic when it comes down to it, and £90 for 3 of them, or $90, should I say. I keep saying pounds because... obviously, I'm very centrist. It's only me I think about.
It's fine. We know the difference.
I do have one of my crowdfunded things coming in the mail. Apparently, the Cyber Frog.
Yeah, I'm on that one too.
The next one I'm waiting for is the rabbis.
Ah,
I'm waiting for the rabbis to come through. That was one that I did, and that's the most recent one. And the next one is going to be the rabbis that comes through.
I'm guessing it's not the biblical one.
It's both of them.
Oh, you got both. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I might be an atheist, but it doesn't mean I actually can't enjoy a good story. I mind you saying that, my father's a minister, so my father-in-law is a minister.
Okay.
So
I need to eventually. He said he was going to send me a copy.
Well, it actually
like
looks really good. I think it looks really good. That's why I actually, because I'm getting too old and my eyesight's starting to fail, I'm actually reading less. So I've got more Audible books and stuff like, and my comics I've got my my model making glasses, the ones with the 3 or 4 levels of magnification. That's usually what I'm sitting when I'm reading with them on. I look like a builder actually trying to do tactile work. I just look. My wife walks in and goes, "Oh."
I'm bringing up the book. Let's see. So I just picked. Oops.
Got to see my reading glasses. Yeah, my eyesight's getting that.
I didn't
bad.
see it.
But says he didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Sorry. I was bringing something up. Oh, okay.
That's my reading glasses.
I picked this up from Audible. Here we go. The best part? Read by David Tennant.
Oh, very good. The most recent one I got from Audible was Red Dwarf. I'm getting the Red Dwarf again because I used to have them in cassette, and I managed to get them transferred to MP3, but they're so grainy now. I'm actually decided I need to actually purchase them now.
This was the other one I picked up. Sorry,
Moonraker.
Bill Nye.
I love Moonraker. Moonraker is one of those ones that people actually give it bad because it's set space and it. I just think it's fun. And a movie that you think is fun, does it matter how silly it is or how unrealistic for real world?
It's the only time we hear Jaws talk.
Moonraker's the one with his wee girlfriend, isn't it?
Yeah. He's playing that against her. She's like a frail little Dutch girl with pigtails.
Yep. And she just smiles at him and he just melts.
And for the longest time, everyone thought she had braces.
She never had braces, but she just smiled up at him and he just grinned with his braces. But no, she never had braces. The real tracks, everybody said.
Well, here's to us.
Yeah. Yep.
Great movie.
Did you see him in the only thing I've actually ever seen him in apart from the James Bond was the Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've ever seen him in. He basically is just standing. You can see obviously his joints are all seasoned up because he's meant to be running. You can see he's doing it, but I still enjoy it. He just plays one of those ones where he looking up as if I need to hit the ball off.
Yeah, wasn't he the boss that had the nail shot into his head?
Yeah,
I thought
foot. I think it was either the nail or foot. I don't remember.
Well, no, it was a nail in his head because when it was in his head, he was a lot nicer to Happy, and then by the time they take it out, Shooter McGavin winds up getting one on his foot.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, he was in Pale Rider.
Didn't know that.
Let's see.
I can't remember what one he was in with. What
he was in Superboy.
Oh, I kind of want to see that Mountain Dew
Cannonball
007
Run
short.
2.
Oh yes, he was in
Cannonball Run 2.
I love the original. The Cannonball Run 1 was just superb. Jackie Chan's one of his early try to make it in America.
I gotta say, I love Dean Martin as a priest.
Yes, but just even the fact that Jackie Chan was one of his first forays into the American cinema, and he actually he had to actually redo a lot of his stunts because the American stuntmen couldn't keep up with him. That's why a lot of the stuff is done on sand, whereas he would do it on a harder surface so he could get the speed and the jumps and the movement. But the American stuntmen just couldn't keep up with him, so they had to do it in sand to slow him down.
That's now making me think of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Bruce Lee.
Aye.
Or have you seen the movie?
No,
I started it. I lost interest in it about a half hour in.
I've
got it, but I've not watched it yet.
I loved it.
It was just, hearing a lot of praise of it over the last couple of weeks or so, thanks to Tarantino being on Joe Rogan, has got me thinking I should probably go back and give that a proper.
Trust me,
See, I've found that
I loved it. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but it has to do with the Manson family too. That's part of the plot.
I have heard that about that.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the big things that, like, I kind of understood from interviews that Tarantino was really nervous about doing just because of the Roman Polanski and the Manson family murders. Like,
just expect your mind to be twisted when you watch it, because I mean, again, I was blown away by it. I mean, I consider it one of his best.
Do you not find certain movies that they've got a dipping point? So if you get past it, the whole movie becomes really good. But sometimes getting to that point, it's a struggle fest. Yeah. And if you get to the point where you just go, nah, off. And then whereas you could have actually watched it for an extra couple of minutes and it could have turned the whole movie around, that all that lead up would have been really good. But I must admit, there is a couple of movies I feel like that. I've never watched the end. Hi, Jed.
Hey, I have had a busy day. I had a
don't worry
to fix, and then we had Pop Culture Mindville. Friday's a busy day for me.
I see that Nick Weiser's doing a comic stream tonight.
Yeah, and I'm always over there too. And then afterwards, Foul Ball, but we don't know if we're going to do that. So I might do a stream later on tonight.
I'm going to try to stay up for that.
You'll need to get a couple of replicants to step in and help.
No, dude, it's just like, what is it? Last night I was on Thursday. We were supposed to do Geeks and Gamers, but we didn't. Oh, not Geeks and Gamers. We were supposed to do Global Geek Gang, but we didn't do that because Mike was doing the Comic Con thing. So I was like doing on things like slowly until then, and then I was like talking to Comics. I was like, hey, Comics, do you need me on there this week, or do you want me to come over? He's like, sure. So I was on Comics. I was with Comics and Culture and Tom and a bunch of other people last night. Then after that, I was over there with Mike and Mark. We were talking about Black Widow and stuff, and then this morning the light switch, I had to replace the light switch. And I had to get an electrician to come in and help me because it was one of those older switches from like early 90s that they were all black. So I didn't know what was the ground wire and what was all this. And he was like showing me everything was black. And I was like, why do you make everything black? You couldn't tell. So I had to have an electrician come out and help me, and we fixed it.
Here, hold this wire. Yep, that's the ground.
10 minutes. And then I was just on Pop Culture Mindfield. We were talking about Richard Donner and other stuff, and now I'm here. So
yeah, I was there before you came in because they were talking about the Goonies.
I was fixing the light switch. So
I watched it last night. So I did.
That's good.
It's one of my favorites. My all time. It's not the greatest movie, I can honestly say that, but it is definitely one of my favorites. Hey, you guys!
PJ, I gotta say this, Father Christopher, and I think I already told her. The thing that got me into comic books and everything else and other geek stuff, Richard Donner's Superman the movie was the movie that actually got me into comic books, got me into all of I was already into Star Trek and Doctor Who, okay? And, it was 77 was the year before was Star Wars. So I was already into those three. But by the time 78 rolled around, you had Superman the movie. That introduced me to Superman because I didn't know it before then because I was still a little kid. I went to saw that and I was like, I want more. I want more of this. And then my grandparent, my granddaughter, my grandparents were like, yeah, there's a whole comic book line and everything else. I went to the comic book store for the first time. It was like when in Clerks where he goes and drops down on his feet and is like, oh, I found home.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, this one I paid $3 for.
Oh, you
Wow.
did?
There you go.
Superb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I picked up.
Father Christopher,
up-
that's awesome.
I picked up 11 from the late 70s, early 80s. I paid probably $2 each.
That's a late 70s, early 80s one right
Yeah.
there. So.
I'm
See,
going to bring up my collection.
yeah. See the Superman movie. I got the two movies round the wrong way when I was talking about them the other day.
Uh-huh.
I basically said the Empire Strikes Back was the first one my dad took me and my brother to, but it actually wasn't.
Yeah.
It was Superman. Donner's Superman was the first
Yeah.
movie my dad took me and my brother to the cinema to see, because he would just give us typical overage. He would just give us money and go to pictures. Whereas this is the first time he took us, and it was the first time we didn't sneak food into the cinema. We would go to the shops, buy the juice, put stuff them in your pocket up your jumper, and walk in, and then sit there. Whereas my dad just, we'll go and buy them there. It doesn't matter how much they cost.
Yeah.
There's nachos and all this. So that basically. Now, when I used to take my kids, that's how I did it. None of this buying sweets and taking them in. You get the big gulp. You get the.
I know, right, PJ? It's not the same as it used to be back when we were younger.
I still do that. I went to see Judge Dredd 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, 12 times. And every time I went, it cost me 30 odd pounds. And it was only £10 for a ticket. But it was food. I was spending that much in nachos and sweets just because that's how I got brought up with it, and I still like that function. But it was Superman that basically brought that forward, because my dad was the first time he took us to the cinema. He sees Superman, and I still love it.
Yeah. Superman, Donner Superman was the thing that got me going.
Yeah.
So.
See, I was already a geek by that time. My dad used to call me Square Eyes because I sat in front of the TV. So I grew up watching Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon.
I was already into all that stuff.
Yeah, but I was already a big sci-fi geek, and I had comics and stuff like that.
But I wasn't into Superman or any of that stuff till 78.
I was a Spider-Man man. Even then, I love Spider-Man. So I was just basically always into anything comic books and stuff like that, because I used to go over when I got my pocket money once a month, not once a week. The comics came out once a week, but I got paid once a month.
My gran and my grandfather took me to the comic book store once a week. So
yeah, see, I got pocket money once a month, but the comics came out once a week, and it was always a case of, going to buy, mate, and I'll owe you back when I get paid.
Yeah, and you had to go in there. Sometimes my grandfather was like, okay, you got a certain amount, you can get a certain amount of books. He didn't do the price thing. He's like, you get a certain amount of books. But he goes, you can get, some weeks he let me get 3 books. Sometimes he let me get 5, 6, whatever. But he's like, you got to pick and choose, or I'm not going to get them all. Because I would put Legion, I would put Superman, I would put out Justice League, JSA, all that stuff out there. And I was just like, oh. And then I would have Fantastic Four, Spidey, and I'm like, he's like, we're back next week.
Notice how many Superman comics I have.
Yeah.
Wow.
What website is this?
CLZ. It's a app that you can have on your phone where you can put your comics in. But the reason I was pointing this out, I really started collecting about 5 years ago. And I've been making this point is I bought 66 comics in 2016, 110 in 2017, 106. Then I guess in 2019 I went nuts. I bought 193, but then 2020 and so far this year about 60.
Yeah, I've got the only thing I've got like that is my Magic the Gathering cards. I've got the website, and I've got my whole 19,000 cards categorized in it, and I've basically got them all listed. I typed them all in manually.
I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago that I dropped out of Magic. So I've got boxes and boxes of cards, and now it's for that. I do a little bit of Commander, and that's about it.
It's Commander I mainly play at. It's basically I just buy it because I'm a collector. I'm a collector at heart, so basically I started it and I had to keep my collections up. So, but I do play
want
Commander.
To check an auction. See, this is one I bid $60 originally, and I knew that wasn't going to win.
What's that?
This is Sergeant Fury, issue number 1. That's a CGC 4.0.
Wow.
It's selling for $560. While the Captain America one, which I'm getting my personal copy graded, is selling for $177, but that's a 7.5 out of 10. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think I've got any of my comics, even my old ones, that are gradable because they're so dog-eared I've actually read them all.
Yeah, but those are good. I mean, that way you can continue to reread them without worrying about damaging the value.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same as all my collections. People say, why do I take my stuff out of the box? Because I want to play with them.
I just won a Sergeant Fury auction on that website. I won 10 comics, of which there was a number 3 and a number 7 of Sergeant Fury. Those two I'm not opening.
See, I can understand that.
Because those individually are selling for maybe $40.
You want to see one I bought for 75 cents?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Ooh.
Wow.
Now, is that an original or a reprint?
Well, this is a trade. This is like one of the early trades.
But still, 75 cents for a decent trade.
Let me get mine.
And it's one of the original ones because they refer to or Joker is the ambassador of Iran.
That wouldn't be printed nowadays.
Oh no!
Oh no! It would no.
I think they renamed it like Kazakhstan or Crazykstan or.
Aye, you can
they
imagine.
made up
I'll show you one thing I got, which is
this is not the original.
I'll show you one thing I got, which is not comic book related.
This might be actually be an original original printing of that.
Right, not comic book related. It's magic.
Oh wow! I have not seen one of those in a long time.
Do you know how much that cost me?
Dude,
I don't know anything about magic, so I couldn't tell you.
I haven't seen those in forever, Peter.
Yeah, I bought that and it cost me £16. I was talking to someone, they says, I bought mine about 4 years ago for £75. And that I got for £16, and I could not believe it. Selling that on eBay, it's over £100, and I got it for 16. I was over the moon.
Well, the Lois Lane comic I have, where she becomes a black woman, I wanted an auction for 20.
Yeah, that one is. You keep a hold of that one.
That's one I got sent off to get graded, and my friend that runs the shop thinks it might get a 5.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder like that because they're going to actually, if they see them, somebody's going to destroy them. Oh, you'll get an update coming in.
So I think you saw the Superman comic I posted last night. Let me see if I can bring that up.
In the Facebook or on Twitter? Which one?
Both.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I was.
It's basically the
is that the Jimmy the fan club?
No.
That was just a
woman driving the submarine.
Oh yeah, I just now seen that. Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's right. About the Admiral's wife crashed it because she jammed it because she was driving. I thought, I can imagine something.
Well, the thing is, I would still be with DC if they would reprint these or put them on their streaming thing, but they don't.
Oh no, they have no.
It's probably because of stuff like this.
Yes.
The Admiral's wife was able to drive the sub.
Yeah, the controls were jammed when the Admiral's wife was. I just loved that when I saw it. It's the same as the fan club one. Jimmy a fan club.
That's the thing that's fun about Superman back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's camp.
Of course it is. That's why
now Superman is all serious and everything.
That's why I love my 66 Batman. I'm not a great Batman fan, but I love 66 Batman because to me it
It's
was a
campy
comic
as
book.
hell, yeah.
It was a comic book come to life. Whereas now, do I want a comic book that actually is so nihilistic like the modern comic book stories? No. I want ones that are actually make me smile. I want the hero to win. I don't want the hero to say, well, can he? Because that evil person's actually got a bad story and that's why we can't punish them. No, they're evil, get them.
Okay, we got title card.
Oh,
Black
I'm
Widow,
missing
Loki,
500?
California. But no, I the thing is, I always laugh when there's one comic I'm trying to find. I when I was working my way through them, I would clip panels that I love. There's one where Jimmy is trying to drink a big vat of beer. I mean, he's basically leaning over into the vat, trying to drink the whole thing.
See, you look at even was it Iron Man? They had him on drugs.
Yeah,
Iron Man was an alcoholic.
As an alcoholic.
Yeah,
alcoholic.
he was an alcoholic.
But there was one that there was one of the heroes was it Green Arrow or it was
Green
on
Green
drugs?
Arrow, it was Speedy was a junkie. So.
Was it Speedy? I
Yeah,
just
Speedy
remember
was
it.
a
It's just-
junkie.
and that was, and you're sitting there thinking, really?
It
See,
was the Green Arrow, Green Lantern cover, and it
Yeah.
was that cover right there. What Frog Cursor just pulled up.
I'm getting no title card, nothing from my stream.
Well, let me see if I can put it in the chat. I think I bought that. I think they did a reprint of that recently, and I bought a copy of it.
Oh, it's okay. I've got
I
it.
found this
Okay.
at a comic book store for $1, and I picked it up right away.
That
I was
one?
just like, yeah. I was
Yeah.
I calmly saw it. I walked up to the register. I put my dollar on the counter, walked out, got outside, and I started jumping up and down. And I was like, yeah, let's go.
I did that. I did that
I was
once.
just like, I had to be real calm and collect. I was like, here's $1. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go outside.
I
Real
did
chill,
that.
like,
Around
yeah, this
the
is just,
corner. I started jumping up and down, yelling and screaming and everything else.
Yeah,
And then you
I've
opened it
done
up
that
and found,
once.
and then you
I've
opened
done
it
that
up
once.
and found that 10 pages are missing.
No,
It was only-
whenever I go to a store, if it's in a bag or
always check
something, I open it up and make sure I check it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So it
See
was
what
it
you
was
did-
a
you
real
were-
book. So
I
that's
see
the
what
reason
you
why I
were
was like,
saying there. I did that once. I was at a car boot sale. I've given it the nonchalant. How much is this?
yeah.
Because and I'm saying it's for my kids. My kids are into it. It's a wee Doctor Who figure. I'm standing there with a TARDIS bag, Doctor Who T-shirt, and everything on. But it's not for me. It's for my kids. And the guy's like, "I right." I couldn't get it for as cheap as I wanted
Yeah,
to get
and
it.
Because I know what the price is on a lot of this stuff
Yeah.
is most times.
So,
So
thought
the
about
minute
like
I-
that.
yeah, the
saying,
minute
it's
you
not for
see
me,
something-
honest.
Yeah, the minute you see something, you're like, okay, yeah, it's not for me. It's for
You
but,
pick it up,
you know.
put it down, pick it up, put
Yeah.
it down, and the thing's it's not important. But
I
I
know
tried
that-
that.
My shop is having their biannual sale coming up in October where all the back issues are half off. So the last time I was in town, I was bad, and I'll admit it. I found some Christmas money I hadn't used. I spent $150 on comics.
Ooh.
That's that. If you got any value out of that, for us,
No, that's the thing.
worth it.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, but some of them were just like the cheap Supermans, and that's the only reason I wanted it was because I wanted the Superman stories.
Yeah, some of the really good Supermans. They're not that expensive. You can pick
Right.
up a whole bunch of them for
Yeah.
like
See, when I used to go into the comic book stores, I'd go to what the class is the bargain bins over there, but it's just basically just the cheap ones.
yeah.
And I would go up, and I would go up with a pile of them. The guy would say, "What do you want those for? They're not worth anything.
Yeah.
They cost me £1 for 10. If
Well,
it
the
gives me an hour of entertainment,
Yeah.
The
It's-
last
it's-
time I
that's
yeah,
it.
PJ, the last time I went downtown in Glendale, there is a store that has comics in it sometimes. They sell them for 50 cents a piece, just for whatever it is. I go in there every once
Look how
in a
cheap that
while.
one was.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's number 95, so this would have been late 60s.
Yeah.
And this is another reason they won't have it.
Hag.
Lewis Lane Hag.
Oh no, some of the cooler.
Oh, right,
shit
the other ones too.
Stuff is just like super awesome.
Aye, they
Yeah.
are basically. See, to me, the way I look at it is, if
They
I
were
go in and get
parodies.
something, yeah. See, if I
Well-
walk in and get something that's entertainment for an hour, how much is my time? How much is my time worth? So if I spend £2 or £3 to get an hour's entertainment, ideal. I could go into a pub and spend £6-7 for a pint, and it could last me a half hour. So would I rather spend it in a pint, or would I rather spend it in a load of comics? It gives me more entertainment.
Well,
Hey, Father Christopher, what's the name of your cat?
Bosco.
Bosco? Cool.
After St. John
from
Bosco.
Deuce of Hazard?
No, after St. John Bosco.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Boss-
Deuce of Hazard? What?
No. But I was going to
Is that
mention.
not Roscoe? Is it Bosco P. Coltrane? I thought it was Roscoe P. Coltrane.
No, B. B is in
Is it
boy.
Bosco?
I was
Yeah,
like,
ah.
I was
But I was going to say, 3 years back, Midtown Comics had a Black Friday sale, and I picked up a
Mhm.
bunch of these bad boys for 75% off. And I mean, I'm paying $7 for a comic that should be, I don't know, $30.
Well, here's the thing. Some of these people say they're comic book people, and then I don't understand. They're just like they don't. I'm like, to some people, like I have this experience that came in. I said this one time. When I worked at my pop culture store, the pop culture store, this guy came in, and he had a bunch of stuff. Hey, Snort. Oh, I tweeted out that we were on, so a bunch of people.
This is, just to let you know, this is St. John Bosco.
Oh, okay.
So that's who my cat is named after.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I this one guy came in, and he's like, I don't know what these are worth. They're probably not worth that much. And we were pulling out X-Men, early 60s X-Men, like a ton of just really good early 60s fantastic, like the primo stuff, Father, like the primo stuff. So we were, and I was like, and then he goes, and I was like, and I went to my boss. I was like, you better not rip this man off, because you and I both know in there. He goes, no, we're gonna send him. And I was like, he goes, do you have anybody you can send him to? And I was like, yeah, I have somebody you can send him to. So I was just like, so he brought, and it wasn't just one box. It was like Dark Phoenix Saga. They had everything in there, like full runs of X-Men, Fantastic Four, all this other stuff. So I sent him to one of my buddies. He was living in a shack. He made enough money to get a brand new house,
Oof.
a brand new truck, and everything else. And later on, he came into the store and dropped like a bunch of money. He goes, hey guys, thank you for hooking me up. And so he goes, I have something to thank you guys, because other people would have took advantage of me not knowing. You guys actually told me and sent me. He goes, showed us pictures of his he was literally living in a shack in the middle of nowhere. It was bad. And he goes, pictures of my house and my new car. And he's like, I was like, you got a new car? He said, you show him that. So he's like, here's some money for you guys, because you guys were the ones. And he goes, any business I get, the business is coming towards your way now. I know. Look at Iron's face when he did that.
So, Ironcaster, this is a store I shared with Nick
Oh.
Weiser. This is an antique mall down on the strip, and I want to visit it when I go there.
Oh, dude, that's in Vegas?
Yeah.
See, I never
It's an antique
saw
mall.
that in Vegas.
It's an
I
antique
never
mall.
saw that, and I was looking for stuff like that
Dude,
when
look
I
at
was
the
in
Flash
Vegas.
Gordon right
But
there. That was the first thing I
This
noticed.
is why.
Yep.
This is why I go to antique malls, because you can find.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can find good stuff there.
I was on the Global Geek Gang about a month ago, showing off a haul I pulled back from one, and I mean Jed was there. He saw just
Yeah.
I was showing all the stuff. I got the entire run of the Babylon 5 comics from DC for like $30.
So,
I got a bunch of classic great stuff.
hey, Father
Here still.
Christopher, if you ever come to Arizona and you come in Phoenix or Glendale, We should go down to Glendale and we should go look at the comics because there's some comic book stores and stuff. If you ever come down to Phoenix or Glendale, we could go down.
Vegas is about the closest I'm going to get anytime soon.
Oh, I know, but if you ever come this way, we can go kick it and go look at some comics and
Sounds
stuff.
Good.
Because downtown Glendale
I
has a lot of nice places.
Last time I was in the States, I got this right. There's a story behind it.
Oh, let me bring that up. Hold on.
Oh.
Basically, it's just the full box of. Hey,
Dude,
okay, so you're on full screen again.
Oh.
I got that. I got that.
The law.
I got that in the States, right? And it was not long after 9/11 happened. So you remember they were actually checking every bag you were getting into a shop or a theatre or something. So we were going to the theatre to see rockets. So it was basically it was in New York. And my wife's bag got forward and they searched that. And I've got this big plastic bag. And as I walked up, the woman looked at me and I says, "It's a Judge Dredd figure." She says, "I'm a DC girl," and passed me straight through. I thought, hey! Everybody's getting their bag searched and there I got passed through. That happened to me when I was in Prague as well. They were searching everybody getting into the palace, and I've got a what was it? It was Judge Dredd. It was a Judge Dredd t-shirt on. And as I got to the front, everybody's emptying their pockets. He just passed me through. He says, "Anybody wearing a t-shirt like that, it can't be all bad," and sent me through without even saying me. And I thought, see, comic books, they actually make great people. And I just thought there's two comic book people who were in. They could have got me to take that whole thing apart because it was all wrapped just to see what was in it. As soon as I says what it was, she said, "I'm a DC girl, on you go." I thought, yes, beautiful. But that is one of my all-time favourite things that I've got. It's never been out of the box because everybody keeps on saying, "Why you don't take that out of the box? You take all the other ones because that's Judge Dredd." Yeah. And I've got a cheap one of those.
You know better than to let him loose.
Oh,
that's a crime that he's not out of the box. I'm disappointed in you.
I've actually got a second one out of the box.
Oh.
So I've got a second one. It's already so it's already out of the box. I didn't need to take him out. So,
congrats.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Pat. Ask, thank you, though. Appreciate that. No, I mean,
I didn't know you were almost there.
Sorry, I'm late, Father.
Yeah.
I'm almost the same. I'm only 930 away, so I'm okay.
Oh, I'm like 800 and something away from 1,000. So
I'm 260. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I need to do a little more content. I need to actually get a few more live streams going because I think I'm still at about 118.
Yeah, I'm still at 77. I'm still my live streams. I'm doing.
Let me look right now.
19. I've actually gained one.
I will say that after I was on the Christmas episode of Friday Night Tights, I gained 100 subs.
Superb.
That was fun. That was a fun stream.
Lord Thoth, Avon lives, long live the Legion, buddy. And look at the snort. Sorry I'm late, Father.
Oh, don't worry.
On the road. Out on the road, man.
Don't worry.
Yes, Lord Thoth even lives. I still can't. I'm actually halfway through my season 2 of Babylon 5. Babylon 5. Sorry, I was thinking Blake 7.
Nice.
I'm watching Babylon 5 as well. I've got so many things that I'm watching at the same time. I'm actually starting to get them all mixed up. I actually was in the chat for the stream Jed was in, and they were talking about Blade Runner. I says, they did a TV series, Blade Runner 2070. Now I realised that was actually Total Recall because I'd been watching both of them and I was getting them mixed up. I'm trying to, my head's going, I need to cut down what I'm watching because I'm getting them all mixed up. It's terrible. Need to actually watch what I'm doing. But,
I just seen we're at 225 on the channel, so that's
yeah. We probably still got at least a half hour.
I had an idea for a stream. I was kind of thinking of the other day, and it was coming from a Vigilante Williams video. The idea to take 5-6 people together, just kind of on a whim, and what if we were to write the Disney sequels? What would we put?
We would make it better.
Gary actually just did something like that.
He's doing it
Gary
for
just released. He just
Game
released a video. No, on the MCU. Basically, having the Loki show be focused on Loki.
Yeah,
I thought
an X-Men called the X-Men.
Yeah, because Gary's
he-
talking about getting all the fans together for Game of Thrones and actually rewriting the season 8 or the final book. The book is never going to be finished.
Yeah.
You do know that.
Oh,
Loki
speaking of.
is, I'm going to say that Loki is gonna. You know who the big villain? Loki is gonna. The villain is gonna be Loki. It's gonna be an alternate version of himself that's more evil. He's gonna go up against himself. I'm calling it now.
I haven't seen
Oh.
it.
He's going to be the one that's manipulating it all, and he's going
it's
to
gonna
be
a
the bad one.
different version of Loki.
No,
that's
it's
been
going to
doing
be
all
him.
this.
Penny a penny, it's going to be him, and he's just been manipulating it.
Yeah, it's either gonna be him we've been watching this Loki try to get power the whole time, or it's gonna be they're gonna do some timey-wimey bullshit. I'm predicting it.
Language.
Pull out at the last minute.
Oh, sorry, Father.
As I bring up this tweet again, where the inverse guy called me an a-hole.
Oh, he did? Why? Well,
What?
okay, wait. That's inverse, okay?
Yes,
Father
as you
Christopher,
can,
they're a bunch of
I know.
Yeah,
you know.
projection.
Gary told me that. Gary told
Yeah.
me that, but I'm surprised he even responded. I'm like, I just can't buy this. The best Marvel movie, period.
I still say he's actually
Of
decided
23
exactly
movies,
what
is
he
this
thinks
going to be
about
the
it.
best thing?
Meanwhile, it's trying to basically just blatantly copy the Winter Soldier. Because some of the best reviews I've heard for the movie, which I think it might have been Critical Drinker, they were basically saying he was saying the movie was basically just trying to copy the best bits of the Winter Soldier. Remember when
there's a lot of filler in it too.
Remember when these movies used to try to innovate and break new grounds and go into new
I said
genres?
this last night. It's last night. They did the minimum effort to try to get Sun. They didn't go in like they should. It was minimum effort. That's all it was. So
I'm gonna bring up a trailer. I first was introduced to Scarlett Johansson in this trailer I'm going to bring up. Oh, darn, I can't remember. I get it mixed up. The Man Who Wasn't There. I get it mixed up with the British movie, The Man Who Never Was.
Aye.
PJ, do you know that one?
That's the one. Was that the one with
Clifton Webb?
Roger Moore? Was there
No,
not a Roger Moore one?
no. This was about Operation Mincemeat.
Oh
where
yes, about the
dead
man who
guy.
never was the dead guy who was actually floated into Spain to
to
basically
mislead the Nazis.
yeah. Yes, I
Great
remember
movie.
that one. I've seen that one. That's considering what they were doing, it actually just messed with them. And what they got away with because they didn't think it would work. They knew it had actually been copied. They didn't think it would work, but they just had to hope, and it worked better than they actually hoped. They were only expecting it to delay them for a couple of hours, if not days, but it actually delayed them for days, if not week. So basically, it was a lot more successful than they actually ever planned.
Okay. So I'm going to get struck for this, or I'll get a copyright claim, but I'm not at 1,000, so it doesn't matter. This is a Coen movie.
Everyone needs a haircut. For the kids, there's the butch or the hiney, the flat top, the ivy, the junior contour, and occasionally the executive contour. Me, I don't talk much. I just cut the hair.
No.
Say he was being blackmailed. By who? You don't know. For having an affair. With who? You don't know.
Oh, I've seen this.
Probably not. You don't know. You want to test something, scientifically. How the planets go around the sun, why the water comes out of the tap. You got to look at it. But sometimes you look at it. Your looking changes it.
Life has dealt me some bum cards, or maybe I just haven't
I
played.
thought that was Billy Bob.
Life's just so
Yeah.
damn beautiful, you almost won't believe it.
They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you and me.
You keep your mouth shut. I'm an attorney. You're a barber. You don't know anything.
Tony Shalhoub, he's actually excellent. I love Monk.
Love Monk's break.
Billy Bob's one of those guys who you don't think, who look at him, you wouldn't think has a whole wider range of acting ability to him, but he surprises you.
Sometimes the more you look,
Yeah.
the less you really.
Yeah.
Especially
this
after
is like-
seeing him in Tombstone.
This is like one of her first movies. Oh, there it is.
That movie was actually kind of decent. So It was I liked it.
Yeah, I've never actually seen it. But actually,
Yeah,
definitely one that I need to actually get a hold of.
What year
Yeah,
is this
like-
movie?
2001, I think.
So, oh yeah, she would have been like early 20s.
No, I think she's 17 in this.
Younger than that. Yeah, I mean, she's.
I think she was 17.
Oh yeah.
What was that movie she was in with Bill Murray?
Lost in Translation.
Lost in Translation. Yeah,
Great
she's
movie,
pretty young-
too.
Pretty young in that. Yeah.
So
I think that Lost in Translation was too weird for me because I think I was just expecting to laugh every time Bill Murray was on screen, and
Yeah.
I lost
It was
it.
serious.
I don't know. I love the scene where the Japanese director is speaking for 3 minutes, giving direction, and she just says, "Turn your head and smile." And Bill's
it
like,
was-
"I'm sure he said something more than that."
Aye.
yeah.
But
it
I
was-
don't know. I think it was just one of those ones I was expecting to laugh all the time. So the whole movie just basically passed and I didn't even notice it because I was too busy waiting.
Yeah,
So it never was one that actually stuck with me, I must admit.
it was a dry humor movie. But like,
Yeah.
That's what it is. See, but Bill Murray's normally his humour is very sarcastic, straight to the point humour. And I think it's just because you expect a particular.
yeah, I expected him to be like
Well-
this off-wall, outrageous, like
Yeah.
Have you seen him? Have you seen him in Zombieland?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's
Love
not,
that. I love
was
that
hilarious.
because
It
it's
was
not
hilarious.
it's not as off the wall wacky, but he's still so funny because you could just imagine a celebrity thinking this is the way to survive by dressing up and acting. I just thought it was excellent the way they did it, and then he obviously gets killed because.
spoiler.
Sorry, spoilers.
But
I
you
just
know, the
love the
thing
way
I-
they did
The
it.
thing I tell people is the movie's been out for how long? You've had so many years to see it.
Well, see, that's the way I look at it. I do classic movies, and people say, "Don't you actually warn them about spoilers?" No, my movie that I just spoiled was actually out in 1956. I think if they've not seen it until by now,
You mean The Man That Never Was?
no, I was the ones I'm talking about. If I'm
Okay.
them or the Day Earth Stood Still, the classic. If somebody's actually never seen it after, and it was made in the 50s, sorry, I can't help spoiling that for you. And even some movies you don't need to have seen, but it's already spoiled. Like for instance, or Planet of the Apes.
We win World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes. There you go. It's actually it tells you the ending on the movie poster.
Silent Green. Well, no, some people don't know about Silent Green.
But it is people.
It's
Aye.
delicious.
People.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was it?
Silent Green?
It
Yeah.
is people.
But it's the same idea. It's just one of those things that people know more about movies that they've never seen because they're so iconic.
Yeah.
As you said,
Oh.
like Rosebud and Soylent Green, it's they're people. It's just the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the remake where it's yeah.
I
it's-
was browsing on Pluto TV the other day with a friend, and you know, one really iconic movie for its twist just kind of I was kind of jumping around. And it's like, oh hey, Sleepaway Camp is on. I turned it on with the last like 30 seconds left. Guess what we saw? Like, oh, there's the spoiler.
I never heard of the movie.
I've never heard of the movie. But see, the thing is,
that's
see,
the movie.
I could walk in the last minute of a movie, see the actual penultimate bit, and then go, oh, that looks good. Rewind it and watch. Sorry, when I say rewind it, obviously I'm that old. I think videotape stuff. I start it again.
Hey, I
then
remember
enjoy it.
Betamax.
Yeah, by the
I
way,
remember
Sleepaway
Betamax.
Camp, Father, I do not recommend for you.
Well, I'm
No.
assuming I could. Yeah, I could probably guess why.
Did you watch Romy, the Michelle Gomez? I
No,
do
I
apologize
didn't.
for that.
I didn't. I probably still will check it out.
It's a very adult Scottish humour.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is, I told Gary when I first was new to his channel, the language, as long as you avoid the Lord's name, language doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's just that
I mean,
when
with
I was
all the
rewatching it, I
F-bombs that they
realized.
drop, with all the F-bombs they drop and other things, I mean, if that bothered me, I wouldn't be following them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's just that it's the
I mean,
humor
I
is
don't
very-
use that language, but
I try not to, but I do use it occasionally. But it's the same as my nephew. Every second word out of it is basically just the F-bomb. And he basically, it's just the way he grew up. He's just actually always used it
Well-
because he works in building sites and he's just constantly swearing.
we're not like the priest on Father Ted.
But he didn't get away with it. Feck, girls. Drink.
I love Father Jack, but and actually, we do have a religious order of nuns that look exactly like the ones that Father Jack freaked out over. I did show one of them that clip.
Do you know I can still see now they're actually editing out certain aspects like 40 Towers. Don't use that. They're editing out. Can you imagine what they're going to edit out of Father
Let's see
Ted?
if I can.
There's the bit where the window's got the wee mark on it, and he's giving it all that and the wee mark. It just so happens when they're looking through the window, it sits there, and he's giving all the thing, mate. And that's going, that's getting cut out, but nobody's mentioned it.
Yep.
Oh, I know a movie I need to share. Let me see. Hold on. I'm just trying to find the thing I sent Ian and Noel, or not Ian. Yeah, I just sent it to Ian and Dan. It was where Mrs. Slocum was going to get married.
Are you being served?
Love it.
Love it. Aye. Have you seen Grace and Favour?
No.
Have you seen That's My Boy?
No.
That's My Boy is a Molly Slocum.
Dude, That's My
Seven-
Boy is hilarious.
It is. I love Molly Slocum. Molly Sugden. She is my favourite actress of the time. She is
Mrs.
just
Slocum.
yes. But That's My Boy. It's a vehicle for her. It's her sitcom, and it is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
So I've got that. I was actually halfway through doing a review of it, and because I decided to do live streams, I shelved it. I just finished watching the season without finishing the review.
Okay, so there's
One of these days, I'll finish it.
I'm going to show the
Dude,
trailer.
Hey, PJ, have you done Gimme Gimme?
Gimme. I watched it, but it was never my favorite. My daughter used to love it, so I used to always see it. I prefer him when he was in the Thin Blue Line,
Yeah, Thin Blue Line was.
and I
Okay,
preferred.
so I'm going to share
Not
this
yet.
trailer.
Yeah.
This is a movie that you can see on YouTube. This is the Red Band trailer, so there are a few no words.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
The werewolf attacked you. Literally.
That was the guy from Lost.
We reached a small stream. You've got the power.
Barry Boswick from,
That's my
Yes,
character.
possible. Yes, yes.
I think the werewolf might have come from Germany.
Germany, Italy, Japan, by Joni forces.
I say we go to war.
You are reaching to the gas chamber on this one.
I call this the Delano 2000. He must blast.
So ridiculous.
How in the world are we going to storm the beaches of Normandy, take down an entire army of werewolves, and still make it to a French titty bar by last call?
I present Douglas MacArthur, Chief of Staff of the United States Army.
Dougie Mack.
This is Commander Winston.
This is General Dwight Eisenhower.
Mussolini.
Hitler. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Albert Einstein, the real Jackie.
Shut the fuck up, Einstein!
Play it, pimp to pimp. I appreciate it.
I'm a motorcycle of death. I ain't got no sidecar. Damn you, Frank! We have nothing to fear, but
Marco!
polio. Fear itself.
Wow.
Now, I want to point out this movie was made around the same time as Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Well, did
I
you ever
think
see
it's
Iron
a lot
Sky?
better, but it looks of it. Yes.
I've seen Iron Sky. Yeah,
Love
first
Iron
one.
Sky.
Do you know what one I liked as well was the Take Me of Tomorrow? Sky Captain of Tomorrow. I can't even remember.
I love that
Didn't
one.
get
Yeah.
into it.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
I actually quite enjoyed it. I didn't have high hopes for it because sometimes with a Z type movie or a B movie or whatever, I always put it on and I think it's going to be cringy fun. Actually, I found myself enjoying it a lot more than I expected to, and it's just one of those. It's steampunk Germans. I thought superb from the moon. It's just, I thought, whoa. It's amazing how something that you just don't expect to actually entertain as much just can hit the right note. And I think it's one of those ones you can switch your brain off, sit back, watch, and enjoy. You don't need to think about anything. And they don't actually lecture you about things.
Oh, I still go back to like Kung Pao, or Kung Pao and
Yeah.
Kung. I was actually going to say Kung Fury. I'm sorry, the names are very similar.
Yes. I like the Fury one. That was the one that was basically, it was almost like a live action animation, a live action cartoon. What's it?
It's the kind of like the parody of the Japanese movies where
Yes.
they got the bad dubbing.
Yes, and you've got the thing with Pam, the Buddha Pam at the end.
Well,
And
you got the little tongue doing the tongue thing too.
And you've got the guy, it's like the crazy 88, and they don't show you them getting beat up. All you do is you see the guy walking forward, and suddenly you see bodies flying high and coming all raining down. I just thought that was one of those movies that I could just sit back and enjoy. I watch that at least once, twice a month. It's just fun. I like a good martial arts movie. I basically like my Jackie Chan and stuff like that. Do you know the first time I saw Jackie Chan movies was on Jonathan Ross, the extremely weird film show.
So I gotta play this. It just got me thinking of this.
That's the Bruce one,
Now,
isn't it?
bring me the prisoners.
Do the Kentucky Fried Chicken movie?
Aye, that's exactly what it is.
Not with the word chicken in it.
Well, I know.
Now, take him to be tortured.
Kentucky Fried movie. That's something from when I was younger. I didn't
As
say that.
for my American friend, the CIA thinks it can infiltrate the mountain of Dr. Crun.
You can't scare me, you slant-eyed yellow bastard.
Whoa, they can't get away with that today.
Take him to Detroit.
I've got the Kentucky Fried movie. I've had that. I had Kentucky Fried movie on video.
You can't show that last scene ever again.
Well, I don't think you could show Rex Danger or Rex Kramer.
Yeah, that's
Danger
what I'm saying.
Seeker.
That's him. You can't show that.
Oh, no, you definitely
Fantastic.
can't. Well, maybe I can. Let me do this without the sound.
Wow.
Did anybody ever see Schlock?
Yes, Rick Baker was wearing that schlock outfit.
See, I thought that Schlock was
was
one
Rick
of
Baker.
the first ones that I thought I need to get into more American Schlock movies. I just thought it was hilarious.
Well, they haven't really had a good one lately. I think Rat Race was probably the last type.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were talking about that on our first Saturday stream with Lady
Oh yeah,
Greatmaster.
I know what this one is. I remember it now.
Yes, this one
This is,
definitely could not
No.
be
Not play
played.
this today.
No.
Oh no.
Do you know what reminded me of that? The Die Hard, the first time they did
Yeah,
Die
the
Hard,
first-
remember they had to wear the sandwich board?
Right.
That's what it reminded me of. This.
They had to CG that
Yeah.
word, the thing he said in the sandwich board. They filmed
Yes.
it with something different on there.
Yep.
There he goes.
I've never seen this. I look at that scene. I know instantly what he said.
You know what
Yes.
he said.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, see, when I saw the Die Hard, that's the part. That's the the bit of Kentucky Fried Movie I remembered, and that's what I was thinking when
It made me think of that too. Except they had a different word on there for the CG later.
Yeah, I knew that. I thought it was actually just meant to be blank, and then they just actually had
it had I hate everything on there. It
so
said
yeah.
I hate everything on, and that's why I saw a picture of that a year before the film came out. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean?
I didn't
Still a
realize.
surprise because who wouldn't? I'm gonna what is that supposed to be? And then in the movie,
This, but even at that, they couldn't even do that, even though it was meant to actually deliberately do it to actually get his ass
get beat up.
Yeah. But they wouldn't be able to do that now because it would be too.
No way.
I know. It's crazy because that was the object of it. He was deliberately sent in to get beat up and abused.
Or they would set up a bomb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So do you imagine that they would never actually have filmed that type of movie now? No. But
well, Blazing Saddles. It's amazing that even got made.
Yes, I love Blazing Saddles. I've got that as well.
Or The Jerk. They couldn't do that either.
Oh, The Jerk was superb. See, the toy. The toy as well. But see, The Jerk, the letter he sends back to his parents about his girlfriend offering him another job. I was knotting myself with that one. It just
can't put that scene.
You could not do that scene. I actually, when I was watching it, it's just I knew it was stupid. It's Steve Martin. Come on, it was just going to be silly. But see, when they actually was reading the letter out, and the brother is sitting in the background going, I was rolling, laughing at that.
Well,
I just couldn't stop myself.
See, when the gangsters came to his house when he was rich, he had that mansion, and they told him, "We're going to keep the." Well, I can't even get close to saying it.
Be careful on that one, man.
But it was so, sir, you are talking to a.
Yeah, it's just those kind of things. But as you said, the toy, they could not do that.
Richard Donner, by the way.
It's a Donner one.
It's probably 30 years since I've seen it.
I've seen it here where I live, in the same town where I live. In fact, I was going to see E.T. that year, and Richard Pryor was in town filming, and he bought all the tickets to the feature I tried to go to.
Nice.
Because the lady at the counter told me that. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Richard Pryor brought up the whole, for his film crew, for the toy."
Bummer. Well, I'm not going to see the toy then. That'll teach you.
Yeah, that's what I did. I said, I'm not going to see the toy, and I didn't.
Yeah. But I mean, I've not seen the toy. I must admit, I think I've only seen it once, and it was years and years ago. And it was just the idea of it. I just thought was really they were actually going down that route, and that was not. I would say a good 20 years ago. I saw it, and I'm sitting there thinking. So you imagine what they would say now, and I wouldn't class myself as very socially progressive. And I thought, oh my God, wow, they could get away with doing that.
Back then, we didn't think about it. I mean, you had
we didn't think about any of
this. You
this.
had legends like Jackie Gleason, and you had, Richard
you
Pryor.
had Red Skelton, Red Buttons, Richard Pryor, Eddie. We had Robin. We had Carlin. We didn't think about any of this.
Yeah, because they were basically things you couldn't say, but it's not. If somebody else says them in a joke, it's funny. It doesn't. You don't need to take offence to it. It's not something we would say in a day-to-day life because obviously it's it's not nice proper. But if somebody else is saying it, it's funny because of that.
Father, I think I have to run. I'm sorry, my friends.
Okay, hey, no problem. Glad you could make it.
Thanks for having me, though. Thanks.
Catch you later,
everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one, everybody. Take care.
We'll see you.
See you later, brother.
Later, buddy.
He's probably got to go to another cons thing.
And then there were 4.
Yeah, they're having online.
That was better than the beginning where it was just myself.
Oh, it was just you?
Because PJ showed up maybe 5 minutes into my, if nobody else shows up, I'll just end the stream a little early.
So I'm the savior, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Well, we're on borrowed time right now.
Yeah. Yes, I still waiting for the erotic. After all, it's only 5 minutes after he's meant to have been started, so you're talking about still another 15, 20 minutes for him still to be early.
So I still got time to order pizza.
Oh, gee. So I will say there was something I saw in Vegas that is tempting. I might put the money down for it. There's a thing called the buffet pass where for 24 hours and $64, you can get into like 5 different buffets. Let me see if I can bring that up.
You're not going to be able to come back and do the stream if you do that. We're like,
the barrel.
Where'd Father Christopher go? We lost him in Las Vegas.
If you do that, you'll have to put the belt on with a boomerang.
I know, right?
I could go back on keto and just eat the meat. So
just pull an Arby's.
You could eat at the real. You could.
Do you know there's only ever been one Arby's in Scotland, and it was in Glasgow, and I loved it, but it didn't last long because it was not popular here. I loved Arby's. When we went to the States, I got an Arby's as well because I tried it 3 or 4 times when it was in Glasgow. It didn't last that long, and I missed it when it had gone. Bummer.
Dude, you had Arby's, and they're like, hey, there is this, like, some good food here, and then they're like, oh, you're just going to take it away because nobody likes it.
Aye.
PJ's
basically,
like,
no!
Yeah.
It's the same as they did at Denny's here. Didn't work.
Denny's
failed. It failed because they tried to bring it with the American way of doing things. Didn't work.
Yeah.
Because having multiple Denny's all over the place, you don't need to book. You can walk in. And if it's busy, there's plenty others. You can go down a couple of blocks and there's another Denny's. And I love Denny's. So we always want to go, but they kept saying, no, we can't. You can't book a table. You have to come in and stand and wait and hope. And it was very busy right at the beginning. So you could wait 3-4 hours. You still don't know when you're getting a seat. But the fact is, you don't get to Denny's like you've got your refill coffee and the waitress comes over. She's very helpful, very smiley. Here you go, no problem. Nope, didn't work because they weren't allowed to fraternise with they had to just go in, put the food down and away.
This Denny's.
Yes.
3 to 4 hour wait to get into Denny's.
Yes, and there was one in basically it was the first one in Scotland. So you remember this is
Wait, do you guys still have Denny's there?
It's no longer here, it's closed down.
Dude, all the good places we have, you guys get, and they close them down.
But Denny's here was bad.
Oh, it was really bad?
It was bad because you had to wait the big long wait to get in, and the customer services wasn't that great because you know what it's like. Well, you obviously know what it's like. I've been in the Denny's over there. You basically go in. The staff are very helpful. You basically ask them what's on. They'll tell you. They basically ask for your bacon fried and your coffee and your whatever. Over there, it's a case of you basically get your order. They just take the order and walk away, and then it's done and then away. And then basically you can't ask them for something or it's over there. And it was just the food wasn't that great. The service wasn't that great because they didn't bring what made Denny's great in America here. It just didn't know how to do it, and that's why it failed.
Yeah, Denny's here. Oh, dude, you got Meat Mountain up there. Ooh.
Yeah,
I gotta show you.
That's nice. If you ever saw this on the menu, the Meat Mountain from Arby's.
I have never seen that at the Meat Mountain, or else I would have actually. I would have had a couple of them. I would have had a couple of those if they'd actually done the Meat Mountain.
Hey,
so I gotta show this. This is a place I went to in Philly.
Is it corned beef?
Good. It's pastrami.
Pastrami.
Oh,
pastrami.
I would eat that.
It's good.
I'll see if I can actually dig out a picture of I would say a delicacy over here, but it's actually just as much of a delicacy over there as well.
Yeah. Well, here in America, we have a phrase. It's not good looking, just good cooking.
Right.
And that's like, you have Waffle House. That's a chain along the South. I've never been. I've heard so much though.
It's in the Midwest.
Dude, we have Waffle
How
House.
about that one, Father?
Keep in mind, I'm in San Diego, so it's like
Pizza
if there's a
God
natural
bless you, brother.
If there's a natural disaster, like the regular order of things is it's like things are getting back to normal if the Waffle House is starting back up.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends wants to try that when he comes over. A
So.
pizza burger.
I've had one of those.
Interesting.
Pizza burgers are good.
Wow.
Aye, they look delicious. I'm still trying to find.
They're so good.
There's one place that does it in Glasgow, and it is £45.
£45.
£45 because of the size of it and the amount of meat. However, if you can eat it in 30 minutes, you get it for free.
For free.
Is anybody familiar with Village Inn?
Yeah, we have Villages out here
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
I've never seen
I
it.
actually worked at one during college.
I'll,
I used to
I'll
hang
stop
out
that.
at the Village Inn on the weekends. So
Is that the pizza place?
Village Inn?
Yeah. It's
it's a breakfast type.
Oh no, we're thinking different things then.
Village Inn is where I would go play Magic. A lot of us Magic players would go and play Magic, and you get free refills and stuff, and get.
I
food
got my
and-
first game of Magic in a year and a half on Monday. My first game in a year and a half.
Damn.
And I got absolutely scubbed. 3 games, and I got knocked out first. Bummer.
You haven't played for a bit, you know.
Aye, well, no, basically that would happen to me all the time anyway, because I actually like building decks. Accordingly, my decks are a wee bit too powerful, so they gang up me as soon as I sit down. they're my friends. So I always have. Yeah, I've got it in front of me sitting here as well.
I got actually a deck I was putting together that I think you would appreciate. I have oh wow, the lighting's terrible. Cully of the Vast. It's like really.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to look at something else. There we
Hey,
go.
what colors are you doing, Iron?
This
That's
is
red, white, and green.
black.
Is it black? I thought it was green. Sorry, it's just obviously a wee bit blood at the side.
When she attacks an opponent, you can take an angel, demon, or dragon from your hand and put it onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking.
See, that is like me. Wait to see this. Wait to see this.
It's the kind of deck I put it. If I'm playing that, it's getting targeted right away.
Oh,
I did a black,
nice.
green, red deck. It was evil.
Oh, someone. First of all, someone's tote bragging right there.
Yeah,
I got the TARDIS backpack.
This is my magic bag. So it is. But wait, you see, look at that. Look at the name of that deck.
Let me bring that. Okay.
Is that all red,
I mean,
PJ?
No, that's a green deck.
Wait, you color coded them for.
Yeah, that's a Glasgow. It's a Glasgow Zoo or Glasgow.
Glasgow.
But that's what. That's,
sorry.
Glaze.
My new playmat.
What's my new playmat? I've got the sleeves and everything. Wait to see this one.
That's
I
an
love
awesome
when it's turned into a
playmat,
magic
Iron.
stream. Thank you. Oh, I love the colors already.
My Judge Dredd one. I got it custom made. Custom made.
Dude, PJ.
Is that Judge Dredd? Is that Judge Dredd and a Dalek?
It is not a Dalek, no.
Oh,
I am the
awesome.
No, it's just the judge in a mountain. It's actually a tower behind him.
Odin is in the chat, so we're getting
Hello.
close.
Yeah.
Not this chat. I have a window
No, he's
open
in
at the other one.
Yeah.
Just instinct. I'm like, oh, let's greet.
No, I've asked Odin if he would like to join one of these days, but he says before the stream it just is too busy.
Snort's right. Did you see Perkins is tall, but Waffle House is the place to get dragged by greedy friends looking for massive amounts of it. Yeah, Waffle House.
I've only ate there once. Oh, Army of Darkness.
That's my new map. It's going to be put on. I've got the sleeve and the deck box a lot.
I started a game in my
they're doing the adverts.
called
The adverts
the
has
Waffle
actually come
House
up.
game. So it's basically be the first one to spot the Waffle House and count and call it out.
I think we're live.
They're starting.
We're live, so we're going to end.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.